cool. Jesus. Oh, the sun is killing me. What's going on? Another day, another dollar. You know, I woke up today feeling like talking about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I feel like talking about everybody else. I don't feel like talking about us this morning. You know, people say, you know, I get a lot of people that are coming to, a lot of people coming to toot their horn on Michigan. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to toot their own horn about Michigan. You know. About takes, you know, people happy they got our take right. I got so many takes on video. I don't even get to toot my own horn a lot about half of them because I got so many of them. You know, I got so many of them that I'm right about or even wrong about. You know, but I got a lot of them. You hear me? You know, but you know, I'm on you today, Garrison, because you know you wanted to toot your horn real bad about Michigan, and you do it almost every week, honestly. But you know, I'm gonna toot my horn about Ohio State, because what I said about y'all has been true. Those same questions I had about y'all turned out to be so valid. So valid. And I made these in the offseason, same as you. You know, talking about, is Will Howard that dude in big games? Is he that dude in big games? Didn't get it done. What they used to say? L7 loser. You know, so you lost that one. The only big game you've had. You know, the running game. Will Chip Kelly and Ryan Day? Because I was told, that's Chip Kelly is Ryan Day's mentor, so he's gonna run the ball. He's gonna make sure he runs it, even when it's, you know, even when it's not working. He's gonna stick to the run. Right again. Told you. Chip Kelly, Ryan Day's the head coach. He's gonna do what he wants to do at the end of the day. You know, end of the day, he's gonna do what he want to do. That was true. Also, this is the greatest defense ever. This defense is the greatest ever. Oh, okay. I try to tell people, just because you think a defense is great, that don't make it great. To be a great defense, it's not about shutting down Akron. It's not about shutting down Eastern Michigan or those lower teams. To show that you're a great defense, you have to shut down good offenses, great offenses. That's what shows that you're a great defense. Against Oregon, the good or great offense that you played, I wouldn't even say they got a great offense. They got a good one, probably. Chicken. Right again. What else? Jack Sawyer. JTT. These guys are the best best defensive line in the country. Oh, really? Oh, really? Let me get you out of here. It's always somebody. I get the weirdest people coming in these car lives. It's weird. I get the weirdest people coming in these car lives for whatever reason. I get dudes that's on these car lives that they don't have any idea about football or what we're talking about, nothing. They just come in the chat saying the craziest stuff. It's so weird. And it's wild to me that people get online and do this stuff. Just get in the chat and say the craziest stuff. You know, I get the weirdest people. But I was right about y'all, Garrison. Everything I said about y'all is showing to be true. You know? So, JTT and Jack, they not that. You know? And unless Jim Knowles starts doing twists and stunts like Jesse Minter used to manufacture pressure with guys that aren't elite pass rushers, you're going to have problems, especially against big games, especially in the playoff. Yeah, I was right a lot about y'all because there wasn't big questions. Will the things that I said are the question marks y'all have right now, pretty much. Will Chip Kelly stay with the run game? Will he forcefully run the ball like you have to be a good or great running team? As soon as you got in the big game, y'all went away from it. I was right. That's one right there. That's one. JTT, Jack Sawyer. The defense isn't great. You have to prove that you're great. You know, the stats, you can have the players, the paper, you can have it on paper. You know? Hey, it don't matter if it's about 1 to 30. All that matters is I was right about what I said. That's all that matters right now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, your Ohio State's, and this is the thing about OSU fans right now, y'all want to toot y'all horn that we're not good, which that was always a possibility this year. You know, we knew that y'all were going to be pretty good, but y'all are like us last year, natty or bust. Natty or bust. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all don't win the natty, your season is a failure. Beat us, and beating us isn't an accomplishment this year. I know y'all want the win, but it's not a real accomplishment though, as bad as we are. These are just facts. This isn't me trying to save face or something. This is just the facts. You don't believe in natty or bust? See, I'm on the expressway. It's all jammed up, so I can read the chat a little bit. Natty or bust? You don't believe in that? I mean, this is the year. Y'all got all these dudes. Y'all got everybody to come back like us. You know, if not, then win. What is it? Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel been saying this is the best OSU team ever, almost. You know, you got two probably first round backs. You got the best receiver ever, freshman. This is y'all time. So it's natty or bust. You know, you cannot believe in it, but it kind of is for y'all this year. Same way it was for us last year. because I knew what this year was going to be. Regardless, I knew we weren't going to be a real contender this year unless everything went really good. You know, my hope was to make the playoff, and then when you get in the playoff, you can see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So we had different seasons coming into the year. You know what I'm saying? But for y'all, it's beat Michigan, which, okay, y'all probably gonna do that. I mean, it don't look like it's gonna be that hard to do that. It's still a big game. You never know, but let's be real. But it's about the playoff. Winning the playoff, winning that natty. For y'all, that's what it is. You know, yeah. All off season, and while we went on our winning stretch, I was told by Ohio State fans, all we care about is natties. That's all we care about, you know? So that's what it is. Can y'all show up in those big games? Because it's one thing to beat Nebraska. It's one thing to beat one of these Iowa or these lower teams. The question is in those big games, and that's another question I had. Will y'all be able to show up and win those big games? Will Howard be able to show up and show out? Regardless of whether you lose by 1 or if you lose by 30, it's a loss. It don't matter. It don't matter. A loss is a loss. You know? Yeah, we fought hard. But if I was to give a real take on that game, an honest opinion from just watching, Oregon left about 20 points on that field. And this isn't a Michigan take. This is just being honest. Oregon left about 20 points on that field. That's a fact. Oregon left a ton of points on that field. So, just saying Ohio State played bad. Bro, Oregon left a ton of points on that field. If not 20, they left about 15. They left a lot of points on that field, bro. That's a fact. Y'all didn't leave points on the field like them. They left points. Dudes wide open for touchdowns, field goals. They left a bunch of points on the field, bro. That's just a fact, you know? That's not, Judkins' fumble isn't OSU giving them points. That's them taking points. That's them taking the ball from him. Literally. Literally, they took the ball from him. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. I watched that game. I was in Memphis. I watched that game with my pops. And Oregon left a lot of points on that field. They did. You know, even with the interception that happened, that didn't happen, that first touchdown, you know, but we passed that game. That's just my opinion. Oregon left way more points on the field than y'all did, and y'all still lost by 1, you know. But Will Howard played good, but that play at the end, that was boneheaded. That was a bonehead play. You know, it's my opinion. That's a bonehead play. You need your quarterback has to be able to make that play, whether he gets down, whether he gets it out, because you need to get that field goal. You need to be able to get that field goal. You need the opportunity to kick the field goal. You know what I'm saying? And for him to waste that time and then do that, you know, that's boneheaded to me. You know, but it don't take much for me to say that's boneheaded. Does he have some bonehead in him? I think that's a valid question. And you know, I be on Best Media and all these places, and y'all nervous. You know. because he played well. But this is the thing. This is the thing about a bonehead player. This is my opinion. Whether it's Adrian Martinez at Nebraska, he was a bonehead. He was a real bonehead. He was going to make a bad play. Whether it was Shea Patterson, he was a bonehead. I've seen Will Howard do some boneheaded stuff this year already, even with y'all blowing out most teams. Hey, if you want to say, I'm a realist. So at this point, people saying like, is Sharon Moore a bonehead? He might be. I don't give a damn if he the coach. I don't give a damn if he the coach. If he a bonehead, he a bonehead. I love calling out bonehead and bad coaching and bad play. That's what I get off on. You know, so it don't matter to me, you know. Bonehead is a bonehead. So Shea Patterson was a bonehead. And what I mean by bonehead is they make plays that make you scratch your head. Shea Patterson could throw for 400 yards. He could throw for 400 yards, 5 TDs, and he's still going to make 2 throws, an interception, a fumble, or something where you like, bro, what the hell was that, bro? Come on, bro. He could be playing lights out, and he going to give you some bonehead. The more I watch Will Howard, he goes up in my bonehead meter. That's just me. You know, that's just me. You know, but I'm different. I don't care who it is. I just call people out. I called Junior Colson out half of last year. And he still, you know, due to have 100 tackles and I still talk about him. That's just me. I don't care. You know, but that's the thing. You know, but y'all gonna have the opportunity most likely to win a championship. But all these things I'm talking about are question marks for those games when you get in the playoff. And, you know, who is that? Goj. I know everybody knows Goj. We see him in different places. Goj, I don't care what anybody says. If Georgia's defense plays like they did against Texas, nobody is beating them. Nobody's beating them. If Georgia's defense plays like they did against Texas, Ohio State, you're not beating them. Oregon, you're not beating them. Nobody is going to beat them. Bro, you can, this is my thing about bonehead. You can win a big game and still be a bonehead because it's in you. I'm not saying he can't win a big game, bro. I'm just saying I'm trying to see how high his bonehead meter goes. I've seen him make a couple bonehead plays against scrubs. He did it against Oregon in the biggest moment. That was a bonehead play. That don't mean he can't win a big game. That just means he's prone to making bonehead scratching plays that could possibly lose a game. That don't mean he can't win a big game. This is my philosophy on bonehead players that do bonehead things. You know, but Georgia, and this is a if that defense plays like that, like they did against Texas, nobody's going to beat them. I hate to break it to everybody. You're not beating them. Let me get you out of here. It's always somebody crazy coming in the chat, bro. Hey, mods, when I get on these car lives, you got to be watching the chat and getting these, because it's always crazy people saying the craziest stuff. Always crazy people saying the craziest stuff. If they say some Diddy stuff, get him out of here. If they say some racist stuff, get him out of here. You know, if they say some crazy political crap, get them out of here, bro. Because they be saying, you know, the live I went on, the car live I did, what was that, Monday or something? I watched it over, and I watched the live chat replay, and I was like, bro, this is some crazy stuff being said in here. Some crazy non-football, just some wild, crazy stuff. Like, I probably blocked like 5 people just saying random crazy stuff. You know? Yeah, I probably blocked like 5 people saying crazy stuff, you know? No, you have to get those dudes out of there because they think it's a safe place, and it seems like it's random almost. But that Georgia defense, the way Kirby can get them up for big games, woo, that was nasty what they did to Texas, boy. That was nasty. And as a Michigan fan with our D-line, to see what Georgia did to Texas's offensive line, because Michigan could barely get any pressure, could barely do anything. We had a couple moments with Mason Graham and Kenneth coming through, but for the most part, we couldn't do anything with that offensive line. And Georgia just destroyed them. Ooh, that was filthy. That was filthy what they did to them. That was shell shock. You talking about shell shocked? Quinn Ewers and what's his name? Arch Manning. Boy, them boys was on the sideline looking like, I don't know if football for me anymore. I don't know if this is I don't know if this is for me. This game might not be for me. I don't know if I want to play this game no more. Woo-wee. I love to see that. I love defense, so I love to see that. Them boys was nasty. Woo! Now that's some football. Now that's defensive football. And them boys was hidden. Woo! That kept my blood boiling, boy. I'm ready. Just thinking about them, the way they did Texas, got me ready to go hit. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, boy. Them boys was out there hidden. You know? And I love to see that. You know, some people like, you can't talk about, you know, I like to see good football. And I love defense. So watching Georgia, what they did to Texas, that was surprising to me. Because we went against that offensive line and we couldn't do nothing. Oh yeah, this is Topo Chico. This the good water, the good mineral water. You know, so that was impressive to me. If they play like that, the way that defense was playing, the way that defense was hidden, them boys was head hunting. And to me, those hits were clean. Those hits were clean when those dudes were getting kicked out of the game. Those were clean hits to me. You can't get mad because we hidden. That's just my opinion. And that's what I'm saying, Maze. We get dudes in here talking about basketball and questions. It'd be the weirdest thing in these car lives. But yeah, Georgia, if that defense plays like that, you can say goodnight. You can say goodnight. That's just, you know, that's a big question. Will they be able to consistently play like that? But if they do, you might as well say goodnight and give Kirby that other ring, because you ain't beating them. You ain't beating no defense that play like that. Michigan State, if we want to talk, I didn't really want to talk about us today. I really didn't want to talk about us right now because we got problems. You know, we got problems. Kirk Campbell and all this stuff, boy, we got problems. That's just a fact. We got problems. We don't know who our quarterback is going to be. We don't know We have no identity. And Garrison, you were right about a lot of this stuff. You know, it don't make no difference to me. I can admit when somebody is right. You were right about a lot of this stuff, you know. And some of this stuff Ohio State fans were hoping they were right. Because I've been through multiple off seasons when everything we do is doom and gloom to an Ohio State fan. But y'all were right about this. Most of y'all. Juck on Bucks, I had to give him his flowers. He was right about a lot of stuff he said. And he said some stuff about Sharon Moore that was right on point that nobody really was saying about him having his own identity as a coach. You know, him having his own identity as a coach, not trying to be Jim Harbaugh's identity, you know. And he was right. I had to give it to him because nobody ever came with that take and broke it down the way he did. So I had to give him his flowers on that. He was right about Sharon Moore. To a T, honestly. Yep, to a T. Let's see. Bro, everybody said that, you know? Everybody said that. Some of these takes aren't, you know, but you said it. I give it to, like I said, when I say this, all you Ohio State fans that said this and that, I'll give you your flowers. You said it. You got it. You know, you got it. But to have good takes, and this is the thing, to have good takes and to be seen as someone with good takes, a lot of good takes, you have to have a lot of good takes. You have to have a lot of takes. You have to have a lot of them. A lot of takes. But what else is going? Just like Bama. I told Bama fans before Nick Saban was hired. I mean, before Nick Saban retired, that you better hope he don't retire. You better hope he don't retire, because you're going to go from having the greatest coach ever to maybe just a good coach. You better hope he don't retire. I had that take before he even retired, going against this was before the Bama-Michigan game. You know, because I had Bama fans coming into my chat trying to talk their stuff, and I was, honestly, that's one of my best lives I've had besides the Washington Purple Rain live. You know, that live I had before the Rose Bowl, that was some of my best work, because my take on Michigan's defense was right on. My take on Alabama's offensive line was perfect. It was a master class in college football for nerds, honestly. That was a master class. And I got him on the Alabama on the Nick Saban. You better hope he don't retire. You think it's all sweet and y'all can just hire anybody? You better hope he don't retire. I tried to tell him then. You know, so I be having them takes too, but I have a lot of takes. You know, the more takes you get, the more it don't even mean that much to you to be right, because you talk so much. Yeah, you're gonna be right, you're gonna be wrong about stuff. I knew I could possibly be wrong about Michigan. I was hoping I wasn't this wrong about Michigan. I was hoping I wasn't this wrong. I was hoping I wasn't this wrong. It's this kind of day. I've been up since 4 a.m. drinking. It's water. It's water. But what? Michigan State? Michigan State is a question mark. You can't even get a real take on the Michigan State game because we don't know who the quarterback gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That's the real sad part. We can't even give a real take on Michigan State because we don't know who our quarterback is. You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I supposed to give a pregame analysis and I don't know who the quarterback is? I'm just on here talking. I'm just on here talking. We don't know. Well, don't nobody know who the quarterback gonna be. I'm just talking, y'all. I'm just on here talking. It could be him. It could be him. It could be him. Oh, it could be the freshman. It could be him too. You know? It's just what it is. You know? I seen somebody saying on Facebook or something, stop blaming Harbaugh, stop blaming Sharon Moore, blame me. I sold my soul for a natty. I said I don't care what any other year, what happens any other year. Blame me, because I said I don't care, and we gotta, as long as we win the natty in 2023. Somebody else said that, and I all I could do was laugh, because I felt the same way. So if this is my punishment for winning the natty, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take my punishment with a smile. That's why people, I get hot because I don't like to see bad football. I get hot, because I want us to do good. But I still got a smile on my face because we won that natty. At the end of the day, I'm still happy about that. Because it ain't easy to do. I don't care what happens. We put all our chips in, and I think I said this last year. I'm putting all my chips into this year. That last year, I'm putting all my chips into this year, all of them. So yeah, it's, people want to say it's karma, it's this and it's that. I don't, honestly, if I really want to get down to it, I don't care what it is. I'm just glad we won that natty. I'll accept what this year or next year has to be. I'll accept it. If I'm gonna be real, I'll accept it. I don't want to, but this is the reality now. I'm a realist. This is the reality. They made mistakes. Michigan was lazy. We hired Sharon Moore. Elevated. That looked to be a mistake, right? That looked to be a mistake. Kirk Campbell got elevated. Another mistake. And shout out to Garrison, and I'm gonna say that next. Shout out to Garrison, and I don't know your friends. I can't remember his name, but he was saying that a lot of the staff that they hired are guys that have no resume. That's insane. That's insane, bro. Who are these dudes? You know what I'm saying? A lot of them have no resume. Bro, that's Bryce. My bad, I always forget him. I know your name because you've been, before I even saw your show, you was, commenting. We'd be commenting paragraphs back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying? So, Bryce. Yeah, he had a good point about a lot of these coaches. Where the hell did these guys come from? And it was a valid question. Because I've been thinking about it, but I haven't just sat down all right, because it's unbelievable to hire these dudes, a lot of these dudes. It's unbelievable without them having a real resume. It's crazy. But what you said, why do I want Orgy to start? I want Orgy to start, bro, because if we turn the ball over, we can't win. It's simple as that. I don't want Orgy to start like I expect him to turn into Jalen Milroe now or something. No. I want Orgy to start because we can't afford to turn the ball over. And he's the only one that has shown that he's careful with the ball. Some of those throws that he makes they're just throwaways because he knows it's not there. You know what I'm saying? He's careful with the ball, maybe to a fault, but we can't afford turnovers. That's the thing. I was on somebody's I don't know, you know, I'm always in Michigan pages, and somebody was saying, well, Orgy had like three and outs. We can't afford that. Well, we can't. A 3 and out in a punt is better than an interception. A 3 and out in a punt is better than a fumble. You know, turnovers are killers. A turnover is a killer. 3 and outs aren't good. I'm not saying, you know, for somebody get a 3 and out isn't good, but turning it over, we can't afford that. We just can't afford the turnovers. You know, even with Harbaugh knew that. That's Harbaugh ball, run the ball, punt the ball, and play defense. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So turning it over, that's the worst thing. Our margin for error is too small. We can't afford those turnovers. That's all it is. You know, that's all it is. We just can't afford the turnovers. Our margin for error is too small. So that's the thing. That's all at this point. And honestly, I don't want Orgy to play because Kirk Campbell's not going to call a game good enough for him, or actually using his strengths. Because, this was what I was commenting on your page earlier, Garrison. Most of those run calls, they're not reads that they were calling for Orgy. They're not reads. You know what I'm saying? Even we saw Devin Gardner talking about this a couple days ago, that they didn't call good games for him. They're not using his strengths. It's lazy coaching. It's laziness. Lazy coaching. I'm running my offense. You're gonna have to do what my offense is. I'm not gonna build my offense around what you do well. Are you crazy? I'm not gonna do that. Boy, I can't wait to get you up out of town, Kirk Campbell. I can't wait to get you up out of town. I'm gonna throw a little party for myself just when you get fired, or whenever you get out of Ann Arbor. I'm gonna throw a little party. I'm gonna buy some balloons for myself to celebrate you getting out of here. I'm gonna throw me a party, boy. It's gonna be a blast. I can't wait to get you up out of here. Promise, boy, I'm gonna throw a party on you. I can't wait to get you up out of here. For real, bro. Like Kirk Campbell, the problems that he's done, the mistakes he's done, it goes all the way around. And like I said, we you get the blame for the quarterbacks. Orgy ain't who you wanted him to be. It's your problem. You did this. You did this. You train coaches that can't, you train players that can't run your offense. You trained players, you coached players that can't run your offense. All off season. When we play, it looks like we just started playing together. It looks like these dudes just started playing together. That's bad. It's week 8. It looks like these dudes just started playing together. Well, it's obvious Kirk Campbell don't develop better. It's obvious Kirk Campbell don't develop better. But they go saying we develop better. We still got Kenneth Grant. We still got Mason Graham. We still got Will Johnson. We still got dudes that weren't even as highly touted as Jack Sawyer and JTT that developed way better than them. We still got proof of that. So that's that. That's that. You know what I'm saying? So but Kirk Campbell, he gets my blood boiling. I try not to think about him. I try not to think about him. Honestly, if I'm gonna be real, I try not to think about Kirk Campbell because he gets my blood boiling. At heart, I'm a hothead. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to, calm down. But he makes my blood boil. Appreciate the $5 super chat, Andy. I can't really, it's just jammed up. I guess I can. When wasn't being talked about in the offseason on getting one of these top QB transfer, I was like more is satisfied with their own QBs. Yeah, that's a fact. This expressway so jammed up. You see, I can actually read the thing. It's so jammed up. But yeah, he's satisfied. So this was a bonehead coaching from Sharon Moore. And at first I used to say, who were we gonna get? But our quarterback play has been so bad that I'm at the point where it's like I'm saying you could have got somebody. You could have got somebody. Quarterback's been that bad where I got to say you could have got somebody. Hey, I can't use that as an excuse no more, really. This point is, y'all was just lazy. Y'all thought y'all were better than y'all were. Kirk Campbell, for whatever reason, see, this is the problem, I think. I think Kirk Campbell actually thinks he made JJ McCarthy. I think he thinks that. That's what I think. I think Kirk Campbell actually thinks he made JJ. Boy, JJ was JJ. You ain't make no JJ McCarthy. You didn't coach him to be what he became. That wasn't you, bro. I hate to break it to you. And I think that's the problem. He thinks that it was him. It wasn't. I hate to break it to you. It wasn't you. Not even close. If I'm gonna be honest, I really think you might have held his potential back. If you want me to really dive into you, pause. That was wild. If what's his name? Kirk Campbell. If I really want to think about what you did, I think you might have held him back, honestly. Because last year, JJ couldn't throw a deep ball at all. We know he had struggles with it, but last year, he wasn't throwing. After about week 3, he didn't throw any deep balls. He wasn't even trying it. He wasn't even trying it. Yeah, he thought he could mold a QB. He thought he could. Oh. What's crazy is he wanted. This is how you know dudes don't know what they're doing. I mean, on offense, there's about 15 different reasons or 15 different signs that show that these dudes didn't know what they're doing at all. Don't know what they're doing. But the fact that these dudes came into the season saying, we're going to try to be 50-50 with this roster, that is one of the biggest signs that you're an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to evaluate a roster, and you don't know how to evaluate a team to see not what you want it to be, but what it has to be. You can try to make a team whatever you want it to be. That don't mean you got the players to do it. You can want to run the ball. You can want to run the ball 60% of the time. But guess what? If your run blocking isn't good enough, then if your pass blocking is way better than your run blocking, you should probably be passing the ball. These are things that you know. So, for whatever reason, you thought this year we were going to be a 50-50 team. We don't have a proven quarterback for that. You got the pass blocking to run block than pass block, and we're still not good at pass blocking. What makes you want to try to throw it around? And it didn't take long to realize this. Hell, most of us knew it in the offseason. But you came to the year thinking you wanted to be 50-50? Bro, we weren't even 50-50 last year. We were like 60-40 with the top 10 pick, you bonehead. With the top 10 pick, we were 60-40. And you came into this year thinking we could be 50-50 with guys that haven't played, or Jack Tuttle that hasn't been good ever? Boy, you insane. Kurt Campbell, you insane. And Sharon Moore, either y'all best friends or I'm questioning everything about you for following his lead. Or maybe it's you. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, Sharon Moore, but the more I think about the coaching malpractice that y'all did, boy, I'm really questioning you. And Kurt Campbell, I'm done with him. Like I said, when he gets fired, I will be having balloons and streams and all of the above. I might buy myself a cake. I might buy myself a cake just to celebrate him getting out of here. I'm going to hibachi, and they doing the grill and, the choo-choo train with the onions and the volcano and all that. I'm going to hibachi. When you get fired, boy, I'm going to be celebrating all weekend. Like women this my birthday week. It's going to be a birthday week, or it's going to be a birthday month when you get out of town, I promise you. But this coaching you done did don't make no sense. So there's just so many reasons, so many so many hints and clues that these guys didn't know what they were doing. In the offseason, we don't get to see practice. So, we didn't know. We don't get to see practice, so, whoop. And we don't get to see practice. So, once the season starts, and that's why I said, once the season starts, that's when my evaluation really begins. Because we don't get to see anything from practice, which is insane. To not get to see anything from practice. Not being able to see anything from practice. I can accept that with Jim Harbaugh. I can't accept it with Sharon Moore. If he's gonna be the coach, we need open practices. If I'm Michigan, I'll either fire him or open up practices. Boy, them boys was probably so glad that it was closed practices. Woo! They were so happy that they got to hide what the team really was? They knew. These boneheads knew, but they didn't know how to coach it. They didn't know how to coach. So they just thought they would be able to hide it. Oh, we're never gonna play, bro. You realize this team is gonna play in front of people sometime. They tried to hide it. They tried to hide it when the Big Ten came to town. I knew something was wrong when they didn't have a real practice, a full contact practice when the Big Ten came, because that's a chance to showcase yourself, because those Big Ten guys, they're guys that know football. They've been around a long time, and when they came and saw Harbaugh's teams, they said that's probably the best Big Ten. That's probably the best team in the Big Ten. I think we just watched the best team in the Big Ten practice. They said those things in 2022, 2023, you know. But then this year, they didn't go full contact. It was almost a walkthrough style practice. So those guys, they didn't really get anything from the Michigan team. I knew some I didn't really say it, but I was thinking about it. Like, this is odd, because, you know, the season hadn't started. So, you know, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking to myself, like, this is odd that they didn't go full tilt when the Big Ten channel came. Because even Harbaugh would go full tilt when they came. That was odd to me. And it makes sense now, because they were trying to hide what this team was. They were trying to hide it. Good therapist, appreciate the $5. I can't read it. The traffic getting a little faster now, but I appreciate it, bro. But yeah, that was odd to me, but it makes sense now. They didn't want to showcase what it was. They knew, but they didn't know how to make this team into what it could be or what it should be. They wanted to make it into what they want. And you can never do that. Good coaches don't force teams to be what they want it to be. You know, okay, game 1, game 2, you can try to force it to be what you want it to be. You can do that the first couple games, because you're going full tilt now. You're playing against real competition, and the quarterback is getting hit and everything now. Now you can really see. So the first couple games, you can go with whatever plan you thought you had in the offseason. But after about the third or fourth game, okay, now you have to, is my plan working, or do I have to change it up? You know? And the best example of that in recent history is Alabama last year. You know? The first couple weeks, Nick Saban was trying to do something that wasn't working. He even benched Jalen Milroe. Then he saw, okay, Jalen Milroe is my best option to win. So what am I going to do to make him successful since he's my best option? Okay, we're going to call more reads. We're going to run the ball. He can't throw that well up underneath. He can't dink and dunk. But he can throw a good deep ball. So I'm going to go back to old school Big Ten football. I'm going to run the ball, run my quarterback, and throw it deep, and trust my defense. That's good coaching. That's understanding what I have and what I need to do and what I need to change for him to be successful. You can't force a team to be something they're not. You have to mold your scheme, your playbook around your players. If you don't, you're a bad coach. Don Brown. You know, people try to hype up Don Brown now. He wasn't that good. I hate to break it to y'all. Because he couldn't win the big games. He beat up on bad teams. Beat up on them bad too. Anytime a team had as much talent as him, he lost. It's not a good coach. I'm sorry. But that's another rabbit hole I don't want to get good, you know. But it just shows the bad coaching. And this is why I didn't really want to talk about Michigan today. Because you talk about the same stuff. They're talking about this misery, you know. What else is going on? Was it Oregon, Illinois? I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon slips up somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they slip up somewhere. For whatever, they got so lucky in the beginning of the season, in those games, in that Boise State game. Well, I guess it's not luck. I guess they found a way to win. You know, the 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. You know, they should have lost to Boise State, but their special teams showed up and it was elite. You know, so can't knock them for that, having all 3 phases. That's something we failed to do, you know. And I spoke about this earlier in the year. We need special teams. We need those difference makers on special teams, whether that's kickoff return or that's punt return. We need those big time plays you can get on special teams. You know, we need that. We don't have that. You know, Samaj is all right at punt return. He's all right. He's better than he was last year. I can say that, but he's all right. Kick return, we really haven't got anything. You know, it's harder to get kick returns now, you know, with the new kickoff rules and things. But special teams is big. You know, we gave that punt return, that fake punt, we gave that play away. So special teams as a whole, you know, we missed that field goal missed that field goal, botched the snap. So this team just looks poorly coached all the way around, honestly. Just all the way around. They just look poorly coached. You know, only thing I can say that was good coming off the bye week was Jay-Sean Barham showed some promise. Good job, Barham. Good job, boy. Hey, you're doing it. Hey, I mean, that was good to see. At least, hey. You know, because like I said, people transfer here. I want them to do well. I want the team to do well. So it was good to see him, because he was in a real funk. So it was good to see him play better. You know, I hate it was in a loss, but it was good to see him play better. You know, hopefully he can get it. Hopefully he keeps getting better, because we're going to need him. Because Hausman's been playing better. Hausman's been playing better the last about month. He's been playing better. But Barham, we've been waiting on. So, MSU, we need him, Barham, to play well. Oregon, Ohio State, we need you to play. If him and Hausman are dogs, you know, they can really make this defense go if they're dogs, you know. So, you want the defense. The hope for the season was the defense was going to be lights out, you know. But if the offense is that bad, hell, we need touchdowns on defense. We need trouble. I need you. I need you, and I need somebody to throw at him. I need somebody to be dumb enough to throw at him consistently. I need somebody to be dumb enough to throw at him consistently. That's what I need. You know, but hey. And Ohio State fans, I don't want to ever hear you compare Denzel Burke to Trouble. Ever. Because you can't throw at Will Johnson like that. You throw at him like that, he gonna get one. He gonna get one. And it might go back to the house. That's the difference. That's a turnover. That's a big time play. I make big plays and that's it. That's big time ball. I want to hear about somebody being so good, but they never get turnovers. They never get interceptions. Will Johnson has played one less year than Denzel Burke, and he has like 4 or 5 more picks. It might be more than that. You know what I'm saying? And touchdowns. I want to don't compare him to that. He ain't that. Don't compare them, because Denzel ain't that. He ain't that, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw at Will Johnson a lot, consistently. He gonna get that ball from you. He gonna read that route. He gonna read that route and he gonna get him one. He gonna get the offense the ball back. Or he gonna put points on the board. That's big time. That's big time ball right there. You know, love to see it. What else before I'm almost to this St. Pete store? What else is going on? Talked about Bama, Texas. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Texas. Well, I'm sure about them. They ran into a buzzsaw that night. Nobody was beating. If Texas, like I said, if Georgia plays like that on defense, nobody was going to beat them. Nobody was going to beat them that night. As hyped as they were, you weren't beating them. No. Who else? Who else is in the mix? Penn State. We got Penn State, Ohio State coming up next week. You know, and for some reason, I think Penn State might. I could be wrong. I think Penn State might beat Ohio State this year. I got a feeling about it. I could be wrong. It don't bother me to be wrong about that take. I could be wrong, but I got a feeling that Penn State might actually beat these dudes this year. You know, I could be wrong. You know, I do like what Penn State's offensive coordinator does with the creativity. I like that. You know, if you got a player that you feel is a real mismatch, you design plays for him. You figure out ways to get him the ball. That tight end went stupid the other week. I was watching that game with my pops. We were like, this is crazy. This is crazy, boy. This dude got about 200 yards and 17 catches. This is insane. But that's good coaching. Hey, if you got a dog, feed him. Feed the dog. Got my pet hospital calling me. I'm going to have to call them back when I get to my location. But yeah, you got a dog like that, you feed him. You know, that tight end, I can't think of his name, 44. He a beast, boy. He a playmaker. That's what you got to do. You know, we saw Kirk Campbell try to do some, a little more stuff with Loveland, but you should have been doing that stuff. You should have been doing all that stuff with Loveland. You know, when he was playing, when he was healthy, should have been doing that. Should have been using Donovan Edwards in the pass game more. You should have been using Fred Moore more in different ways. You know? The fact that I'm going to say this and then I'm almost to my destination. The fact that we don't do running back screens just shows how dumb this staff is. And I don't, I hear people say like, well, it takes time to practice that. Well, guess what? We can't throw the ball. So use the practice time to practice some running back screens, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Our quarterbacks need easy screen, to get the backs into space, or a tight end screen. We need those easy throws. So it's unacceptable to not have running back screens, tight end screens, wide receiver screens. What the hell you using the coaching time for? Hey, let's do this. Turnover. Let's do that. Turnover. We're working on our downfield throwing game. Turnover. Want to hear about you trying to be an explosive downfield throwing team when you're turning it over. Last thing, and I'm done. And we still don't throw a deep ball. We still don't throw deep shots. I'd rather see deep shots than half of the stuff that we throw underneath. If I'm being real, I'd rather see deep shots. Run the ball, play action pass deep. I'd rather see that, whether we hit it or don't. I'd rather see that. Because you can usually throw it away deep. You know what I'm saying? If it's not there. But I'd rather see that. Run the ball, play action deep. Run the ball, play action deep. Run the ball, play action deep. This has been since the beginning of time. Since football was invented, this was the game plan in the Big Ten. This is insane. It's insane. But yeah, I'm done, y'all. Y'all done got me talking. Garrison did this. See, Garrison is slick. Garrison is slick. See, he wanted me to start talking about orgy so I can stop talking about Ohio State and start back talking about Michigan. And he knew I was gonna get hot and go on a rabbit hole of misery talking about us again. I know what you did, bro. I know what you did. But I appreciate y'all joining the car live. I appreciate the super chats. That's all I got, man. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.